Good afternoon, thank you for joining me. I'm Eric Davis. I'm the host of the show Upscale, Cooking in a Downward Economy. Let's face it, the economy is going downward. But there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to cook upscale. So today we're doing a apple smoked pan roasted beef link. You're gonna love this. But what makes this dish even better is what goes on top of it. First, we're gonna be making a really creamy, sharp cheddar bechamel that is gonna bring so much flavor to this sandwich, you're gonna die. But wait, guess what else we're making? A whole grain mustard demi-glaze that we're just going to kind of drizzle right over the top of that. Follow it up with, we're going to lay it over the top of some brioche. Later on we're going to bust out the old mandolined. We're going to really thinly slice some potato crisps, and we're going to kettle fry those, and you're just going to love it. It's going to be crunchy, it's going to be delicious, there's going to be some melted cheese. You're going to love it. The good news about this dish, we're going to be able to feed and serve 3 people for under $3. Why don't we head over to the kitchen? We're in the kitchen, but why don't we head towards the stove and we'll be able to start the pan searing and we'll get the oven going. It's going to be great. Oh, I wish you could be here for the smells. Oh, I can already smell the apple smoked beef links. I wish you were here with me. Upscale cooking in a downward economy. Let's go!
Upscale cooking in a downward economy with your host, Eric Davis. You'll set your double ovens on fire. No matter where you are, you can stretch that dollar far. It's upscale cooking in a downward economy.
Good afternoon, it's Eric Davis. Thank you for joining me on Upscale Cooking in a Downward Economy. I'm thrilled that you joined me today. So those of you that maybe don't have the money to go out and fend for yourself, you'll be able to spend the day with us and eat this wonderful lunch. Glad you could join us. The first thing we need to do is open up these beef links. So why don't we get a closer look at that? So here we are. Here are the beef links. Look at that, beautiful, fresh right from the deli. All right, our pan is absolutely sizzling. I've got it over some high heat. Oh, listen to the sound of those beef links just hitting the pan. And this is one of the keys to pan roasting. You've seen the action of the pan is just, it's such a high heat that it's actually sealing in all the flavors. All right, perfect. Well, these things are searing up. As you can see, they're actually getting, delicious, crispy outer edge. And that's really what you want nowadays is a nice crust to form. So we're just gonna flip these over. It is a little smoky in here, but luckily we have the hood system. If you don't have a hood system at home, you are less fortunate. That's the whole thing about pan roasting. They're in the pan. Without the pan, it would just be roasting. We'll slide them in the oven when they come out. Magnifique. Beautiful. Just a beautiful glaze. We're going to bring it over now to those potato crisps that I hand sliced with a mandolined. They spent about 30-40 minutes in a fry, Daddy. You just heat up some oil and stick them in there. And that's them right there. And again, you can't taste this at home, but just listen to how crispy. I feel lucky to be alive. That's as crisp as it gets. And you can kind of, crunchy, crunchy, crispy. If you think that's crispy, wait until you see who enjoys this the most. Listen to this crunch. That's crispy. Guess what? We've got our pan roasted beef links. They are pan roasting right now as we speak. You can probably smell them. You can almost smell them at home. We've also got our creamy, delicious bechamel sauce. And what I've done is I've taken some wonderful sharp cheddar cheese. And I've also diced up some poblano peppers, some red bell peppers. So it gives it a great color and a great texture. It's just smooth and creamy. It's gonna go perfect over the top of these pan roasted beef links. Well, are you looking at the bechamel? Because I'm looking at the bechamel. Look at it bubble, and you can see it just around the edges clinging to the pan. That's really what you want. You want some bubbling action. You know it's hot, obviously, but really, it's when it's melty cheese. Is there anything better than that when you're pouring it over the top of apple smoked beef links that have been pan roasted? I can't think of anything better to add than hot, melty, spicy cheese. And luckily, that's where we're at right now. So you're gonna have a nice, hot, creamy bechamel sauce just drizzled all over the top of that. It's gonna be cheesy, it's gonna be beefy, and more importantly, it's gonna be apple smoked. Absolutely delicious. One important tip, never grab the pan with your bare hand because you'll scream. What you should do is always use a rag or an oven mitt or an old sock. What I'll do is I'll take it over to the oven now. The pan is piping hot because as you can see, they've been seared. We'll slide them in here for the pan roasting part. And we're going to leave them in there for about 5 to 10 minutes because we want those juices that have been locked in from the searing to really just stay inside. And that's what a nice low heat, right around 375 for 5 minutes. It's going to be delicious. I can't wait. Well, guess what? We're back at the oven, and our oven roasted, pan seared beef flanks that have been apple smoked. They're ready to come out. It's been 5, 7, 8 minutes, somewhere in there. Oh, they're starting to split, but they haven't lost their juice. And I'll tell you why that is, folks. It's because they have been seared in the pan first over extreme high heat. Haven't lost any juice. Look at the pan, it's nearly dry. And just look at that, they're not losing any flavor because the juices have all been locked in from that wonderful pan sear that we've done. What we'll do next is we're gonna piece all this together. I've got one of the beef links. I am going to take my trusty bechamel sauce, which has been melted and bubbly. We're just gonna pour this over the top. And if your mouth is watering at home, you are not alone, my friend. It's melting here in the studio. Next, we're gonna take some of the stone ground mustard that I have been slaving over. And this is actually #1 is the quality of the mustard seed that I've been using. Some people go for #2 quality. I guess if you don't want to spend an extra 10 cents, you would go for #2. Just go with #1 mustard seeds, and you'll be very happy with the results. Well, welcome back to Upscale Cooking in a Downward Economy. I'm your host, Eric Davis, and you know that because I've told you now 7 times. Guess what? We are back. We've got those pan-roasted apple-smoked beef flanks. Those are laying right on top of some crispy, fresh, delicious brioche that I baked all night while you were home sleeping. We put over the top of that a lovely, creamy bechamel sauce that is hot and piping hot, and it's got some poblano peppers and everything else in it that's giving it some nice smoky and spicy flavors. We also have that stone ground mustard, demi-glaze that's over the top, and the good news on the show today, we're joined by our producer. He's here in the kitchen with me, so hopefully, and I'm pretty sure it's going to come out great, is our friend here, JF. He's going to give this a try and see what he thinks.
Excellent, Eric. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'll tell you, I'm almost, I'm hesitant to taste this because it looks so good. It's like a piece of art. So congratulations on a beautiful dish.
Well, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy it.
We'll see what it tastes like. Wow. That is outstanding. You know, the apple, the smokiness from the apple, I'm tasting it, you know, right off the bat. And the consistency is just outstanding. It is amazing what you can do with fresh ingredients, isn't it?
It's true, and I'll tell you what else. You might pay something along the lines of $7.99 to $15.99 for that. I put that together for $1 for you.
Wow.
The brioche, that's the first thing you get. The second thing is the apple smoke like you promised. Hitting the bechamel, there's some spice hitting my tongue. And of course, the last thing is the stone ground mustard demi-glaze.
That gives you the little kick there.
Are you kidding me? 4 flavors for $1. It's like a quarter for each thing. That's the good news about cooking something for $1 is you can feed everyone, whether they have 2 legs or 4. You don't want to buy beef flanks at room temperature at a yard sale. Give this a shot. Look at that. Look at that. Get a close-up of that. Ah!
No matter where you are, you can stretch that dollar far. It's upscale cooking in a downward economy.
I am having fun.